Welcome to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. This is your go-to source for practical advice and support while you go through the divorce process. Join us each weekday for a quick chat where we'll cover a variety of topics such as child custody, property division, and self-care. Together, we'll explore emotional, financial, and legal aspects of divorce and help you find the best path forward for you and your family. Here's your host and Certified Divorce Financial Analyst Professional, Mike Fulkerson.
Hello and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today's topic is a pretty heavy one, and that is, do you need a divorce attorney? So let's untangle the legal web and let you decide what's best for your situation. Now, when we're going to consider an attorney, it is a mandatory in every divorce, but on the flip side, their expertise can be quite invaluable. So here's some key factors to consider. We're going to start with the complexity of your case. Do you have significant assets or debts to divide? Are there children involved? Is your spouse high conflict? Complexities like child custody arrangements or business ownership makes, really an attorney essential to the divorce process. And then we want to look at level of agreement. Is this an uncontested divorce with mutual terms already agreed upon? If you and your ex are on the same page, mediation or a do-it-yourself approach, it's possible. However, even in seemingly amicable cases, an attorney can ensure legal loopholes aren't missed and look out for your best interest. So we also have, what kind of comfort level with the legal matters there are. Are you comfortable navigating legal jargon and court procedures? Divorce law is pretty intricate and mistakes can have really lasting consequences. An attorney provides peace of mind by handling the legalities and protecting your rights. So we want to keep that in mind. When we look at hiring an attorney, they really can offer a wealth of benefits. And that starts with, really just their expertise, the guidance they have, because they can explain complex legalities in clear terms. And then they'll be able to negotiate. So attorneys excel at negotiating fair settlements on your behalf. Then you got the representation. I mean, if your case goes to court, an attorney will represent you effectively. Want to protect your rights? Attorneys ensure your legal rights are upheld throughout the entire process, and then reduce stress. Knowing a professional is handling the legal heavy lifting, it, really just eases the burden. So alternatives to actually hiring an attorney, let's look at these kind of concerns that people can have. And one is, attorney fees can be a deterrent. So when we look at other options, perhaps you want to look at, say, limited representation. Hire an attorney for specific tasks like drafting documents or negotiating a settlement. There's also mediation. A neutral, mediator facilitates communication and agreement between spouses, and that could potentially reduce legal costs. And then you got online legal resources. There are websites that offer advice on divorce and information and forms, but they can't provide legal advice specific to your case. It's very, very general and generic. So really the bottom line here is the decision to hire an attorney is really just a personal one by you. Carefully consider your circumstances and your comfort level. But, you might want to try scheduling some consultations with a few attorneys, who specialize in divorce before you get going, just to make sure you fully feel comfortable with what choice you're going to make. I want to thank you for joining me on Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic, just let me know or leave a comment. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, take care. Hi, and welcome back to Breaking Ties Destination Divorce. And I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're going to tackle a common source of confusion, and that's the difference between a fair and an equitable divorce. Understanding, these terms empowers you to navigate property division and arrive at a just outcome. So, what is the difference? Well, many people use fair and equitable interchangeably, but in divorce law, they have distinct meanings. So let's break it down. Fairness often implies a 50-50 split of assets and debts. Everything is legally divided equally, regardless of individual circumstances. Now, equitable, on the other hand, equitable focuses on just division, considering various factors to ensure a balanced outcome for both parties. And when we look at equitable distributions, most states follow it. And that means the court aims for a fair and just division of marital property, not necessarily a perfect equal split. Now, here's what the court's going to consider. We got length of marriage. Longer marriages might warrant a more balanced split. There's financial contributions. Each spouse's earnings and contributions to the marital estate are weighed. You got child custody arrangements. The parent with primary custody might receive more assets to support the children. And we got non-monetary contributions. One spouse who stayed home to raise the kids, might receive a larger share to reflect their contributions. And then we got debt distribution as last year. And that really, debts that incurred during the marriage are also divided equitably. So why does equitable distribution really matter? I mean, what does it do? I mean, it allows the courts to recognize the unique dynamics of each marriage and ensures both spouses have the resources needed to move forward financially. It's not about punishing one party or rewarding the other, but achieving a just outcome based on specific circumstances. Now let's look at some examples of equitable distribution. Okay, got some scenarios here where really an equal split wouldn't actually be equitable. And that is where one spouse inherited a significant sum before the marriage, or one spouse gave up a career to raise children while the other spouse's career flourished. And then you got one spouse has significant health issues requiring ongoing expenses. In these situations, an equitable distribution acknowledges these factors and strives for a fairer financial division. So, what's the role of negotiation here? Well, remember, you're not limited to the court's decision. You and your ex-partner can work towards an amicable agreement on property division through negotiations and mediation. This approach can be less stressful and time-consuming. Now, given all the things that we just talked about and all the different aspects of the divorce, divorce law is complex. We all know laws are complex. So consulting a family attorney who specializes in divorce might better help you understand equitable distributions in your state and navigate property division and make sure everything's done correctly. They're also able to advise you on your rights and advocate for a fair settlement. So I think it's worthwhile to check into an attorney and see if you make a good fit. So I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topics, feel free to let me know or leave a comment. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Take care. Hi, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we're going to get into, the essential but often neglected topic of self-care during this challenging time. I don't have to tell you that self-care is important. However, let's really break it down and be honest, because divorce is a roller coaster. Emotions run high, legalities can be overwhelming, and rebuilding your life feels like starting from scratch. It's easy to lose yourself in the chaos. But listen up, self-care isn't a luxury, it's a lifeline. By prioritizing your well-being, you'll have the strength and clarity to tackle the tasks that lie ahead. So where do we begin? Well, first, focus on your physical health. Eat nutritious meals, even when you don't feel like it. Get enough sleep. I mean, they say we're supposed to aim for 7 to 8 hours a night. Exercise regularly. Even a brisk walk can do wonders. Remember, your body is the vessel carrying you through the storm. Treat it with respect. We're going to next want to prioritize our mental well-being. Meditation is a powerful tool for managing stress and anxiety. Find techniques that resonate with you. Guided meditations are readily available online now. Journaling is also an incredibly good way to express your emotions freely without judgment. Now, as we go through the divorce process, hopefully you've been building a support system. You don't want to go through this alone. Lean on your support system, friends, family, a therapist. Talk about your feelings with them, and you're going to find that you're going to get a little more clarity and understanding, and even figure a few things out about yourself along the way. There's also support groups you can connect with, and you'll find that there's others there who understand your struggles and can share advice. Sharing experiences and offering advice can be incredibly empowering. And let's not forget some fun. Yes, even during divorce, you deserve moments of joy. Make time for activities you enjoy, reading, spending time in nature, listening to music, movies, whatever it happens to be. It's okay to disconnect from the whirlwind and recharge. Laughter is truly the best medicine, so connect with loved ones who make you smile. When we're going through the divorce process, we want to set boundaries. It's okay to say no. Divorce can trigger a barrage of emotions from everyone involved. Learn to set healthy boundaries with your ex-partner, family, and even well-meaning friends when necessary. Protect your time and energy for really what truly matters. So divorce is a process. There will be ups and downs. Be patient with yourself. Some days will be tougher than others, but through self-care, you can cultivate the resilience to navigate this journey. There's light at the end of the tunnel, there really is, and it's brighter than you think. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions, hey, reach out or leave a comment. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next episode, all the best. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. Today, we're diving into a critical topic for parents, and that is temporary child support. So let's go through the legalities and understand how it functions during the divorce process. And we're going to start with just simply, what is it? Divorce really can take time, and children's needs are consistent. So temporary child support bridges that gap, ensuring financial stability for your kids while the final settlement is decided. Now, how is it determined? Well, similar to permanent child support, temporary support is based on state guidelines. And these guidelines are going to consider a few things. One, income of both parents. Each parent's income significantly impacts the amount awarded. Two is the number of children. More children typically require more support. Three, custody arrangements. The amount of time each parent spends with the child can influence the calculation. And four, child's needs. Necessary expenses like healthcare, education, and childcare are factored in. Now, once we go through this list and we get this information collected, then how do we decide what the amount is and who does that? Well, the two main ways temporary child support is established are just through an agreement. Ideally, you and your ex-partner can reach an agreement on child support with mediation or negotiation. Or there's also a court order. So if agreement isn't reached, then a judge will determine the amount based on the factors that we just went over above. So temporary child support says it's temporary, but how long is temporary? So temporary child support remains in effect until the final divorce decree is issued. So this time frame is going to vary depending on the complexity of your case and how long things take to finally be settled. There are some benefits of temporary child support, and that, really is some of the things we touched on earlier, which is like financial security for children, because it ensures your children's basic needs are met while the divorce is progressing. And then there's fairness. It creates a temporary financial balance between parents. And then clarity. It helps manage child-related expenses during this uncertain time. So it's important to also remember that temporary child support isn't necessarily the same as final child support. Both parents are typically responsible for contributing financially. And if your financial circumstances change significantly, you might need to modify the temporary order. So as you can see, temporary child support, it can be a complex issue. So consulting with a divorce attorney who can provide guidance specific to your situation might be a good move. They also can help you understand the legalities and advocate for your child's best interest. Remember, your children's well-being is the most important thing during this transition. I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Feel free to leave a comment, ask a question. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Have a good day. Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. I'm your host, Mike Fulkerson, financial advisor and certified divorce financial analyst professional. And today we're going to explore kind of a valuable resource during your divorce process, and that can be therapy during divorce. Let's get into how a therapist can guide you through this emotional roller coaster and why you might want to make them part of your divorce team. As we know, divorce is a life-altering event and really comes with a wide range of emotions. We can go from everywhere from grief to anger to confusion to fear. You could have sadness. You could be elated. You really might struggle to cope with the loneliness, navigate co-parenting, or even question your self-worth. This is where a therapist can step in and assist. So, a therapist is equipped in divorce therapy to provide a safe, confidential space to process these intense emotions. And let's look at a number of ways here they can support you. One is individual therapy. This allows you to explore your feelings openly, understand your triggers, and develop healthy coping mechanisms. There's also couples therapy if you're actually considering reconciliation. So if you're not sure divorce is the right space, right way you want to go, then perhaps a therapist can help you and your partner communicate effectively and explore options for staying together. Communication skills training. Therapists can equip you with communication tools to navigate difficult conversations with your ex for a more peaceful co-parenting journey. There's also self-guidance or self-care guidance. They can guide you in developing healthy coping mechanisms like mindfulness exercise in general, and relaxation techniques to manage stress and anxiety. And if we have children involved, family therapy could be an option. Therapists can help you address the emotional impact of divorce on your children and develop strategies to support their well-being. Now, there are also a number of benefits therapy provides during divorce. One, emotional regulation. You'll learn to manage overwhelming emotions, allowing for clearer thinking and decision-making. And decision-making is big because you're going to make a lot of them. Improved communication. Therapy really equips you with tools to communicate effectively with your ex, fostering a healthy co-parenting dynamic. Got some self-discovery that you're going to end up doing once the divorce is over as well. You'll gain a much deeper understanding of yourself, your needs, and your goals for the future. Reducing conflict. Therapists can help resolve communication issues and mediate conflicts, minimizing animosity between you and your ex when needed. And then support system. They provide a non-judgmental space to voice your concerns and receive much needed emotional support. You're going to want to find the right therapist, though. Really, one who specializes in divorce can make a significant difference. Look for someone with experience and maybe even a little bit of family law and the emotional complexities of divorce and what comes with it. Therapy is an investment in your well-being. Don't hesitate to schedule consultations with a few therapists and find the right fit for you. Now, I want to thank you for joining me on this episode of Breaking Ties, Destination Divorce. Should you have any questions on today's topic, leave a comment, reach out to me. Happy to help. Divorce is not the end of your story. It is the start of your next great chapter. Until next time, take care.